Now, the Indonesian Central Bureau of Statistics announced that in the third quarter of 2021, Indonesia's economy grew by 3.51%. Now, among the many factors that contributed towards growth was household consumption, lower compared to the previous quarter or the second quarter. Now, Indonesia's economic growth in the third quarter of 3.51% on an annual basis or year-to-year basis is lower than the annual economic growth numbers in the second quarter of 0.07%. Now, in the third quarter, household consumption had slowed due to the strict lockdowns during the third quarter caused by the spread of the Delta variant. In the third quarter, household consumption only grew by 1.03% on a yearly basis. For example, consumption on IT equipment down by 32%, consumption on clothing and also spare parts also contracting for the quarter. And to discuss more about Indonesia's growth numbers in the third quarter and also the impact of the U.S. Fed's tapering plans, we have with us Joshua Pardede, who is the chief economist at Bank Permata. Hi, Joshua. Thank you so much for joining us on Movers and Shakers again.
Thanks for having me, Krishna.
Right. So as we mentioned earlier, as the BPS announced, economic growth in the third quarter was 3.51%. Now, considering everything that happened in the third quarter with the Delta variant, strict lockdowns, is this still a good number for the third quarter of growth?
Yeah, I think as I mentioned also, in the second quarter, the strong economic growth is still driven by low base effect. But in the third quarter, this is the real recovery in the economy. When we see the economic growth in the third quarter around 3.5%, I think this number is pretty much good. Yeah, although the private consumption still grew sluggishly, but on the other hand, we saw that the export performance outperformed other components in expenditure sides, and we still expect going forward that. In the fourth quarter, particularly when the restriction in the mobility becomes loosening, and then the household consumption, I think, will likely to improve significantly in the fourth quarter and in the coming quarters ahead. So we still expect that full year GDP this year to be around 3.5% year on year.
Right. So as you were saying, even though it's lower than the second quarter, of course, second quarter growth was high because of the low base effect, but you're saying that the third quarter growth was still quite good. And other than export performance, what other parts of Indonesia's economy, was performing well in the third quarter?
Yeah, I think other than net exports, I think investments, yeah. As we refer to the BKPM data also mentions that for domestic investors still posted positive growth, although the foreign investors or FDI posted negative annual growth in the third quarter. And we also note that investment has big role in absorbing labors and also in order to stimulate the economy, or particularly in the spending in consumer. So I think by boosting the investments and exports, I think those components could be the main contributors to the economy going forward, because those components, both investment and exports, has a multiplier effect, bigger multiplier effect to the economy going forward, and in order to support the sustainable economic growth.
Right. So you're saying that right now that Indonesia is on a positive trend toward higher economic growth in the fourth quarter. Well, first of all, tell us your predictions about the fourth quarter growth. Do you think it's going to be much higher on a quarter-to-quarter basis, especially?
Yeah, we anticipate that the impact of seasonal factor of Christmas and also heading to New Year will lead to the spendings, yeah, because going forward we expect that so many people will do traveling, yeah, in the fourth quarter, and I think this becomes the peak or the positive trend for the consumptions. And then so we still think that the fourth quarter GDP will likely be at 4.5% until 5%. Yeah, so basically, at least the economic growth in the fourth quarter to be around 4-5%. But if it is contributed by the stronger investments and also stronger exports, I think it will nearly to become 5%.
Okay, now that's also, of course, considering that there won't be another outbreak of COVID-19 or some kind of new variant. But of course, another factor is also external factors. I'm not sure if this has an effect or not. What is your opinion? The Fed announced that they will taper by November's end, the US Federal Reserve. What impact will that have on Indonesia's economy, especially in the short run or in the months to come?
Yeah, I think the Federal Reserve already indicated that the Fed will start tapering this year, yeah, in the midst of ends of November until midst of 2022, and by this good communication from the Fed, I think market currently already priced in, yeah, the tapering policy to be implemented by the Fed, because we expect that the liquidity or the balance sheet, the Fed's balance sheet still becomes still relatively high, yeah, at around $9 trillion at the end of the tapering period. And in addition to that, I think in terms of fundamental economy, I think most emerging countries currently, including Indonesia, have stronger fundamental economy compared to 2013 tapering policies. And especially for Indonesia, we think that the proportion of foreign investors to Indonesian government bond currently is still relatively very low. Yeah, the proportion is around 21%. Compared to the situation in 2013, the proportion of foreign investor to Indonesian government bond was relatively high, around beyond above 30% to 35%. So the downside trades to the capital market Indonesia right now, I think still pretty much limited, yeah, because our domestic investors still supported to the bond market. In addition to that, also government and Bank Indonesia still prolong the burden sharing program. And other than that, also we also note that the Fed still haven't been confirmed yet about the interest rate path in the next years. Yeah, when Jerome Powell mentioned that he will look at or examine the condition in the U.S. economy next year. So Jerome Powell doesn't want to be too early to announce the interest rate hike this year.
Joshua, just very quickly, maybe about 30 seconds, we're kind of running out of time, but just give us your opinion on the impact of tapering on the rupiah in the months to come. Will not have that much of an impact?
Yeah, I don't think that the rupiah will likely weaken significantly like we experienced in 2013. So we still expect that rupiah still will be still in the current level, 14,200 until 14,400,
okay,
due to the strong fundamental of Indonesian economy.
Right. So we're gonna keep on talking about the impact or the performance of Indonesia's economy, third quarter, fourth quarter, and beyond. Now, one of the external factors right now that is slightly worrying is, of course, the energy crisis that is happening in many countries around the world. What kind of impact will that have on Indonesia's economy in the next few months or even next year?
Yeah, I think we started to experience the impact of energy crisis in some countries, in China, in UK, and particularly could be in US, yeah, because it will impact directly to Indonesia's exports, for example, to China, yeah, because due to the disruption in global supply chain and also energy crisis, I think it will lead to the slower economy, yeah, in some countries, and particularly related to the advanced countries. I think this is related to the future expectation of inflation, because the increase in the, for example, like commodity prices and also energy prices. I think it will sooner or later will lead to the higher expectation of inflation, yeah, in some advanced countries. So I think we still need to anticipate the impact of energy crisis to inflation in advanced countries, because it will lead to the expectation of central bank interest rates. So when the impact of to the inflation of United States is already significant, I think there's also a possibility that the Fed will also start to increase interest rate earlier than expectation before. So that's why that the accelerated in rate hike in US, I think will also impact Indonesian economy. Particularly, it will impact rupiah exchange rate and also Indonesian capital market.
All right, just very quickly, maybe about 20 seconds. When will that impact Indonesia's economy? Will it be sometime later this year or next year, or is it hard to predict?
I think it could happen, yeah, in sometime in the second semester next year, when the tapering period ends, and also the Federal Reserve also will calculate or examine the condition in the U.S. economy. So basically, we expect that the inflationary pressure, yeah, in advanced countries, coupled with the slowing economic growth, I think will likely lead to the stagflation. That's the condition that we want to happen, because when stagflation happen in the economy, I think this is not good for the risk sentiment to the emerging markets, including Indonesia, and also it will affect negatively to Indonesia's export performance going forward.
All right, so just very shortly, what should investors or people in Indonesia do in the second quarter of next year to kind of offset this possible impact of higher inflation from higher energy prices and energy crisis and so on?
Yeah, I think we still need to anticipate, yeah, the impact of increase in interest rates globally next year, second semester next year. So I think we need still to manage, yeah, our portfolio on IDR government bonds. Yeah, particularly we might to examine the duration in bond portfolios. In addition to that, also I think some currencies or investment product in IDR, I think still relatively better. Yeah, still okay, attractive. I think if we look at the some performance in stock market, I think we believe that okay, some corporates we still we expect still higher corporate earnings next year, because the Indonesian economy next year I think could be higher compared to the acceleration or the recovery process in 2021.
Right. Okay. So hopefully the energy crisis won't have that much of an impact yet, but maybe next year in the second quarter, as you were saying. Joshua Pardede, Chief Economist at Bank Permata, thank you so much for joining us on Jakarta Movers and Shakers.